Welcome to The Good Pod, where today we're talking The Good Wife, Season 5, Episode 6, The Next Day. I'm one of your hosts, Jason Reed. With me, as always, a woman who wakes up to an alarm of pens just clicking like this. Marissa Garza. Marissa, you good?
I'm good, Jason. You good?
I'm good. We did have some conversation about wake-up routines in the pre-show. And,
we did.
And you told me you wake up to a song by Bad Bunny.
I do. Yes.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. Nuevo León. You know that song. You know it. You know it, even if you don't know it. You watched the Super Bowl. You know
I did, but I don't remember anything from this. I don't remember. I remember the visuals of the Super Bowl halftime show, and it was all great. Loved it all. But the music just couldn't stick with me. I was just like, I never really heard a Bad Bunny song before that. And after that, I still wasn't like, oh, Bad Bunny.
It's a pretty good song. Just go look at it.
I'm sure. Is it like a explosive start? Is that why it's your alarm?
He goes like Nueva York, like really loud, and then it's like some song, and then the beat drops, and that's when I wake up. Yeah.
Okay. That is a intricate alarm system. I don't know. I don't know if I can wake up to music. I feel like I might just stay asleep if I hear music. I don't know. I need the to like.
It's about like picking the right song, because one time I tried to like have an alarm that was like peaceful wake up music, and I just slept right through it.
Yeah, exactly.
But like this, I was like, okay, this is moving, this is grooving. I can get up.
Yeah, I'm very much a snooze guy. I don't know. I wish we could have known like which snooze are all of our characters waking up at. Like, is it the third snooze, the fourth snooze? Because I'm back to work now from my sabbatical due to my gallbladder surgery, and I get up early in the morning to go to work. And after a month of getting up basically whatever I felt like it, getting back up early in the morning has not been fun. So I've been going, I think I hit 5 snoozes the other day. I was just like, no, leave me alone. So that was, that's not fun. But yeah, this was we're on topic. We saw our characters waking up in this episode, which is interesting way to frame this episode of it's the next day. After the storm, it's what happened the day after,
or like the day after what we see some of our characters waking up to.
Oh yeah, exactly. Before we dive into what and who our characters are waking up to, let's get some housekeeping out of the way, and we'll remind you of some ways that you can help this podcast in some free and easy ways, I should say. You can do that by reviewing, rating, and subscribing wherever it is you are watching and or listening to this podcast. It's very easy to do all those things. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Apple Podcasts, please leave us an Apple review. We did get a new 5-star rating. No review, but we love reviews. If you leave us a 5-star review, we will read it on this podcast. We love 5-star reviews. We love people telling us how great we are. So there's that. You can also, if you just want to talk to us about the show, give us your thoughts about the show, you can also do that by leaving us an email at thegoodpodfeedback@gmail.com. And if you just so happen to want to say, Marissa and Jason, those two, they do so good, I should reward them with a monetary token. You can do that by going to buymeacoffee.com/goodpod and leaving us a little bit of a tip, donation, whatever you want to call it. That's with that out of the way, Marissa. Let's get into this. Let's get into this brand new day that we're walking into. It's a new day for all of our people. It's our first official day, and not a first official day, I guess. The first day of Flacco, not Joe Flacco, Florrick Agos Associates. And Will's new lease on life.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, and we are recording this on the first day of April, so there's a lot of firsts happening and days. Yeah, so we start this episode in a very uncharacteristic to the Good Wife kind of way. We see like the sunrise, and then the next day comes on screen. It's very like rom-com-y type of situation. It wasn't something we usually see on the show.
Oh, I thought it was,
but I liked it.
Yeah,
like,
I thought
it was fun.
It was kind of genius because it's like after all that, fury and rage of the last episode, we're gonna welcome you into the next episode with a nice sunrise, some calming music. Everyone calm down. As as Judge Davies will say later, quash it, quash it.
Just squash it.
Squash it.
He works with gang kids. Okay.
Right. He works with some at-risk youth. So you know something about that being in the school system now.
Yeah, that is for sure.
Yes.
So we see three of our characters wake up. Diane is waking up. She's got note cards in front of her, and she is preparing for her gun case that she wanted as part of her exit package from Lockhart Gardner. And, because they just got married, I guess Kurt's moved in already or something because he's there and he's getting ready for work.
Of course, already rest. I feel like he goes to sleep in that flannel, and
he really does.
This is like permanent character wardrobe. In cartoons like Doug and Rugrats, everyone wears the same thing all the time. Kurt just wears a flannel shirt and some jeans,
sport coat,
and
jeans,
and
a belt buckle,
and a big belt buckle. Yeah, all the time. That's his permanent character wardrobe.
Well, Diane's really worried because she's like, I don't want to fumble this case. It's my last case as a lawyer. And Kurt asks her, how many cases have you done? She says 423. I just don't want to embarrass myself. And Kurt's like, well, don't then. And Diane's like, you're always so good with the pep talks. And this is what is so funny to me is they are living this really lived in relationship when, at least from what we have seen, it was pretty sporadic and spread out, and then very fast moving at the end to get to the judge's altar, basically at that moment. But
they barely spoke to each other before getting married. It's like, hey,
with the pep talks, how many pep talks have you given?
Right. It's like, hey, I haven't seen you in a year. Let's go get married in a couple weeks. That was the extent of their recent relationship. So it's just like, what do you mean a pep talk? They do have a weird, interesting, but it works dynamic.
Yes, yeah, which is one of the most interesting things to me in this entire franchise of shows is just their relationship together. So Diane's worried. Will, on the other hand, wakes up and I would say Bad Boy Will is back. Bad Boy Will is
back. He has got that Alicia monkey off his back, and he is back to his Playboy.
Does he though?
I mean, no, not really, but he's trying to convince himself that he does have that Alicia monkey off his back. And he's doing that by throwing himself into a younger woman like he used to do back in the day. We used to see this all the time from Will, betting different younger ladies. But he got that Alicia on his mind. And I guess he never felt like he could move on from Alicia because, except for a couple of dalliances, one with what's her name, Giada, a while ago. Aside from that, we hadn't really seen him be this Lothario Playboy Will in a minute.
And what's her name? Amanda Pete.
Oh yeah, Hellinger. Yes. Yes. And she messed that up because he was ready. He was like, let's go. She's like, no, you got weird stuff going on.
He was doing the same thing he's doing now, but with her, but at a much at level 2. This is level 11 Will. And Will avoidance, Will disassociation, Will moving, doing anything but to feel the feelings he is feeling in this moment.
And even the Hellinger stuff was at least that was age appropriate, right?
Yeah.
Now he's going back to his bachelor Will ways. Because Hellinger really was kind of the one that was pursuing Will in a way. And I think this is now Will being F it, everything's out the window. I don't gotta worry about Alicia. I'm just gonna meet some young thing and do our thing.
I'm really worried about him because, as we'll talk about throughout this entire thing, because at least at this point in the episode, he's just I'm feeling so awake. I've never I haven't felt this awake before, and it's a drastic 180 from the last time that we've seen this man, and also the fact that he is with a younger person. This is definitely in the concerning behaviors category when you're looking at someone with a personality like Will, who gambles and bets and does things like this. It's just kind of Where are we going? What are we doing? How far are we going with this?
Because this is a show on CBS primetime.
Yeah, that's true.
We might not be seeing some other things that Will might be doing off camera.
Exactly.
That might involve some powdery substances.
Yeah, he might be skiing a lot.
Yeah, it just kind of feels that way in some of these interactions he's having. But because we're on CBS primetime, we can't show that.
Right.
And yeah, it's as someone that has watched a show about older people with younger people, it really feels like it's a moment of like trying to recapture like that youthful exuberance, because he's, as we've mentioned before, Will has been kind of pouty, down in the dumpsy for the last like season and a half.
Yeah,
now he's on his grind.
Well, and he got like angry. We had angry Will last episode, and now we have no fucks left. Excuse me, language,
he's like reset. He's like, all right, we're back. We back, baby. We back.
Yeah. And so we see Alicia, and they, in her like negligee and her stuff, like all of the whatever. She's like, so they leading us to think that there might be someone next to her in bed, which I was like, no, Peter, no. But she was just in bed, sleeping, like deep sleep. It's Grace that wakes her up and tells her, have a good day. Don't lose any more clients. Go brush your teeth. And so at this point, Alicia wakes up, goes into the apartment, to which like everyone is here. And I know this is the TV show, Jason, but how did they get into the apartment? Who let them in?
Grace and Zach are there.
I guess. I don't know. But there's all this chaos at the apartment. We've got everyone there. We overhear New Carey saying Wallace and Frey, this firm of tax attorneys, is offering office space. So this is great news for the team. And then we also have someone at the door, none other than Marilyn, who is there just to, want to go over the rules of starting a new firm, doing all this stuff. And Alicia doesn't have time for this.
Hello, Alicia. Can I talk to you about some ethics and maybe making sure that everything's on the up and up in this around your firm?
Whoa!
I gotta have a moment of your time. It's like this. Can you talk normal just one time, Marilyn? Like use your real voice. Like you're not in the presence of Peter, okay? You don't have to use the. What do you mean? This is how I talk all the time. Like, no, it's not. Come on, that's not your real voice.
While she's talking to Alicia, we see Heather, a client, show up, and Alicia's like, "What are you doing here?" And obviously, like, it tells Marilyn, like, I got to handle this situation. Can you come back later? And I did like how Marilyn was like, Alicia's like, go, bye. She's like, oh, okay. So like, I'll stop by later. And Alicia's like, no. And Marilyn's like, yeah. Okay. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Which was funny. But Heather is a client from Lockhart Gardner who had a case that Alicia was working on. And Alicia's like, you're in good hands. Just, you're with Diane. Don't worry about it. But it turns out Heather's going to worry about it.
Well, it's like, here's the thing. Alicia's like, oh, Heather, like, you're in good hands. But I was the one that worked on your case the most.
Yes.
Just saying. Like, I can't legally tell you to come with me, but I know the most about your case though.
I'm just saying.
But Diane's fine. You'll be fine. You'll probably be okay with Diane.
She's got no cards. Okay,
yeah,
she's trying to do that.
But I have worked on your case a lot. I mean, just nothing about nothing. I worked so much on your case, and Diane has not really touched it. She's doing this for virtue, right? But I did a lot of work on it. I'm just like, I can't tell you what to do, but I worked on your case a lot.
Yes. So we see Diane in court with her no court. Like, she's like really nervous. Like, this is the most nervous I've ever seen Diane Lockhart.
In her mind, this is her last case. Yeah, she's got to shine. She's got her legacy. She's got to win it, right? It's about gun control, a thing that she's very, very passionate about, right? So it's going to be her last case. We're going on to being a Supreme Court judge, and she got to show out. This is the big finale. Boom.
And who is she up against? None other than Nancy Crozier.
Nancy Crozier, Meryl Streep Jr.
And we hear Diane's like first line in court that we hear is like, I am galled or something like that. And Nancy's like, well, I didn't mean to gall you. And we also see the Honorable Alan Davies on the bench, who I love to see. Always love to see this man in whatever he's in. But Jason, let us know who's on the bench today.
I mean, this is like a kind of like a comedy sitcom legend, I would say. Richard Kind, who
he also was in Inside Out.
Yes, of course. Who I get confused all the time with Richard Karn from Home Improvement and of many infomercials about hoses, mostly.
Yes.
This hose collapses in an instant and fills up when you turn the spigot on. I'm like, okay, Richard Karn, cool. But Richard Kind has been on shows such as Spin City. He's been on Curb a lot. He was on Mad About You. So this guy, this is definitely a sitcom. He's been around the block in many sitcoms. He's like he has a very specific brand to him, which he kind of tamps down in this appearance here, but he's got a very specific brand about him.
He has his moments. Like one of them comes up here where he's like, I think I can rule fairly no matter how destructive your client's product is to America.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He definitely has a viewpoint. He has perspective that we hear quite a bit in this case.
Yeah.
If we ever talk to the Kings, I gotta ask them, so you guys really like the show Spin City, huh? Like, you love that show.
Bring in the peeps over.
Michael Boatman, Richard Gine, Michael J. Fox. Yeah, I love that show. Yeah, so Richard Kind, comedy legend, welcome to the show.
Yes, love to see him. In this case, Nancy Crozier is defending a gun manufacturer, and Diane is defending the wife of a victim of a robbery. And the reason why they are suing this gun company is because the victim's gun went off during this crime and endangered this victim's life, which ended up getting this person killed.
Yeah, killed him. His own gun killed him.
Yeah. So the whole thing is under this Protection of Lawful Commerce Arms Act, which is referred to in the show as the PLCAA. And this is real. Like, you cannot sue gun manufacturers or dealers if the gun was, what did they say? In use in commission of a crime.
Right.
But they can be held liable for defects, breach of contract, or negligent entrustment, which means they knew that something was wrong with the gun before they sold it.
Yeah.
So this is something that, it was really interesting to go back in because at least in Chicago history, the mayor of Chicago, Richard M. Daley, did try to sue gun manufacturers for this. And this was before the law. And this kind of got the gun lobby to kind of say, okay, hey, we're going to need some protections in the courts for this. And so this is how we got the PLCAA, to which the NRA was like, thank you so much, George W. Bush, for signing into law. It's the most effective piece of gun legislation in the world. So that's your little history and civics lesson for that piece of law. And it's the framework. You're welcome. And it is the framework for this entire case. So Diane, again, is explaining, that the victim's own gun killed him. Nancy is saying, yeah, but it was during a crime, so we can't be sued for this. And during this whole thing, the judge gets a note saying and tells everyone to meet him in his chambers for an administrative issue. Mm-hmm. And who's in chambers when they walk in? None other than Alicia, Carrie, and Heather.
You know how my intrusive mind works, right? You've known me long enough to know. Yes. When Diane goes into the room and sees Alicia, Carrie, and Heather, my mind went straight to Dokes from Dexter. Surprise! And that's where I went.
Pretty much. It's pretty. I could see that going in your mind. I could see that. But here, okay. So here, Judge Davies is like, okay, like this is kind of unorthodox. Heather, why do you want to switch teams? Like, what's going on? And Diane is still super pissed about the whole like poaching clients thing. Carrie, as he's talking, has his hand in a fist. And so the judge here, being in a like de-escalation mode, leans into the only thing that he knows, which is to squash it. Just squash it.
Hey,
Just
everybody. I work with inner city kids, and this is what we do. I tell them to squash it. You just squash it. You see that fist? You just put your hand over your fist and you squash it. You squash it, okay? Just squash it, Carrie. Squash it.
And this is very Richard Kind. Like
very,
this is
right out of the Richard Kind playbook.
Yeah, this is where that is. Nancy is like loving this. Like she is like loving that she's at like a front row seat to this whole thing.
Popcorn. She's just like, so what y'all gonna do?
Diane tries to win Heather over by saying that she was working on the case for 2 years, to which Alicia's like, no, I was working on the case for 2 years. And she produces bills of her billing her hours towards this case. And the judge is like, okay, I'm just going to ask like one more time, like, who do you want? Alicia and Carrie or Diane? And Heather chooses Alicia and Carrie.
Richard Kind was such an interesting judge because he's very like, he was informal as well. He's like, do you want, like, he didn't use like, do you want Mrs. Florrick and Mr. Agos, or do you want Mrs. Lockhart? He's like, you want to go with Diane, or do you want to go with Alicia and Carrie? Like, he uses everybody's first names, which is odd for this show. Like, everyone's always so formal, but he was very like informal with the whole thing, which is like, it was never really brought into that much attention, but it was just such a small detail that I noticed. I was like, Richard Kind's kind of like a cool judge around here.
He's kind. Kind.
Richard Kind is kind. Yeah.
And this gets Diane to stand up and leave. And on her way out, Carrie's like, hey, we're going to need these files. When can we expect them? And Diane's like, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you about
She just walks. She's as elegantly as Diane Lockhart does. She has the most elegant storm off you'll ever see. She's just like, I don't need to be here for this nonsense. And just gets up and starts sauntering out of the room. He's like, are we going to get the documents or what? Like,
no, and then he says, like, when can we expect them? And she's like, gone. She's gone.
Get bent, Carrie. Get bent.
She goes back and tells Will, and everyone, this is very much of an episode of people getting up out of their chairs. So then Will gets up out of his chair and he leaves. She's like, where are you going? He's like, to get it back. So
and this is so interesting, right? Because we're still in this moment in time. We're still in the midst of Diane leaving, and Will only 2 episodes ago was as mad at Diane as he is at Alicia now. But now it's just like that has overridden my anger. Like, because Diane walks in and it's like they're back to their old selves. He's like, hey, how'd it go? Like, oh, well, we're back. Are we back now?
And we should mention Will has had a haircut. Will had time in this whole thing to get a haircut, to find someone have fun with, and to, he's going to, going to vengeance for his firm. So
I mean, it's a very funny running gag throughout this episode of like Will's feeling younger. He's got a new lease on life. Because I mean, I think even in this moment, he's lacing up his sneakers to go work out or something. He's like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling for some reason I'm feeling like 20 years younger. It's like, okay, Will, all right.
I'm going. So Alicia and Carrie go back to the apartment. They're like, we got it. That's so great. New Carrie says, hey, so about those tax attorneys who want us who are offering us office space, they actually want us to like join the firm. And Carrie's like, isn't that like what we ran away from when we were with Lockhart Gardner? And Alicia's like, yeah, but it's office space. Like we're gonna have to do something here.
You'll be out of my house and not hitting on my underage daughter.
So gross. Marilyn is back at this point. And Alicia's surprised. She's like, I thought you were gonna stop by later today. She's like, oh, I just was popping by. Like, I didn't think that was gonna be any problem. Like, I just need to do a PowerPoint. This woman and her PowerPoints. I just need to go through a PowerPoint on the ethical rules of startups. And Alicia's like, I know the rules. I will tell my team, like, we don't have time for this. To which Marilyn is distracted by her own inner systems. Like, she is just like, I need some water. And she's like, oh, can I use the restroom? And it turns out that Marilyn has morning sickness.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I don't think we've ever heard of Marilyn being with someone, married, or what the case may be. Not that we should have, but it is interesting that she got
It's an
pregnant
interesting note.
not too long after working with a certain somebody. With
You said it. I didn't. You said it.
and listen, I'm surprised that this didn't like ring alarm bells for Alicia to be like, wait, you're pregnant with like.
Well, I think if she wasn't going through all this stuff with the firm, she would be a little bit more on it. But everything, and she's also having this conversation with this woman who's puking into her toilet in her bedroom bathroom. Like, it's just such a weird situation that's happening. So I get if Alicia wasn't able to put two and two together right now, and I don't even know, like, this could be the show like trying to steer us in the wrong direction, but
it definitely is.
like,
I don't know if Marilyn. I don't actually know if Marilyn has even been around Peter long enough to get knocked up and to know that you're knocked up. I feel like it's only been like a couple weeks since Peter, got into office, not even in office yet, technically.
Correct.
But I think Alicia was so alarmed at this, like, just much like I was alarmed at this really sudden turn that Marilyn takes of like, she's always presented herself as this, very buttoned up, seductressy person, but not trying to be seductressy. But then all of a sudden she's like, I gotta use your bathroom. Like, it's like had her face in the toilet. It's just like, this is a bizarre turn of events. This is a change. So I enjoyed Alicia's shock over what she was seeing now, and also the nice way that Alicia was, tending to Marilyn when she realized what was happening.
She's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. And Marilyn's like, I hate it right now. So then she's like, okay, like, how long would this PowerPoint take? There's 20 minutes. Okay, we'll come back tomorrow at 3. And Marilyn is also very appreciative of Alicia's taking care of. She's like, Alicia, you're very nice. I was like, okay. Alicia comes out and there's boxes here and everyone's like, oh my gosh, the files. And I'm like, you guys, you're so young.
Come on, guys. Come on.
You're so silly. So they open up the boxes and there's a bunch of rubber rats in there with a note from Will saying, we are doing our best, basically, like, to get you these files, but in the meantime, here are the contents of your desk.
Freaking rats. And it's like, don't you guys know you're in a TV show? You're not going to get the files this fast.
But what is moving fast is Will's plan to take over the world. So Will pulls the, I'm guessing, equity partners, like the big head executive board, into the conference room and is like, here's my plan to take over the world. And David Lee is like, well, I'm kind of concerned about, and Will says, when I'm done, I'll tell you when you can talk. Okay. But he's got this like binder of a plan, basically, and he wants everyone to pick one person from one of these top firms in the nation and target them for acquisition. So he is moving.
Yeah, this is even better than concepts of a plan. He's got he's got
binders of women.
Yeah, he's got notebooks of plan here. Like, yeah, but what is in these like this? That was a thick packet of papers.
And like, this was like before AI. AI. It was before. So like, again, it's just thinking he has to be skiing because the man has
he's been up all night typing this stuff up, begging this lady. He's been awake. He's had to have some type of stimulants to stay awake this long. It's only been a day.
Yeah, and like also he like throws this at the partners and then sees, I think her name's Isabel, in the corner and just like starts making out with her in the hall.
What in the hell?
Like, what? And he is interrupted because he gets a request from the something disciplinary board, which is basically the board that suspended him. Because this whole time Alicia's like, we got to get him back, and they're like, okay, so like let's get a subpoena and go to court. And Alicia's like, nah,
son, y'all thinking too small. We don't really get his ass. But I want to go back to the Will making out. It was like,
yeah,
what the hell? Like the assistant like turns the office doors are wide open. The assistant like banging Tammy in his office. He didn't like close the shades. He didn't close the door. He didn't go in the bathroom like with Alicia. He's just out in the open making out with some chick. And his assistant walks in. She's like, oh, hey. Diane also is here. Is like,
this
hey, man.
firm just had a sexual harassment suit against them.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too. Of like, y'all doing this right after your what was the girl's name? Chrissy lawsuit?
Yeah.
Like, damn, like Will don't give a F no more. He don't give no F's. He is out to conquer everything. He's probably as well as skiing, he might also be taking like some extra testosterone shots or something to keep up with this young lady, because this man is going at it like hardcore. Like, Jesus.
He does say Alicia has a sense of humor about going to the disciplinary board, to which I wanted to talk about this with you, because Diane says to Will, don't let her get into your head. And Will says, no, that's where I want her. Where is she right now? Where is she right now? In your heart? In your other head? Which head? Where like what is happening? Like what do you, why do you want her in your head? Like, it just felt like such a weird, I mean, I know he's going through a lot of things, but I didn't know what he was trying to tell Diane.
I think it was like, because my mind is a dangerous place. That's exactly where I want her. Like, I think that's where he was going with it, of like, in my head is the battlefield. That's exactly where I want her. Because when she's in my head, I know where she's at. So then I can plan for this. Like, this man is crazy. Like, he is going off the deep end.
It's insane.
So he's like, no. That's where I want her. That's where she belongs, in my head. I'm like, okay, all right, well, calm down.
Okay. So we go into court, and Alicia and Carrie are arguing that you know what? We don't know if there's a crime yet, because the criminal court is handling this right now. So why don't we wait and see what happens with that? And if there is a crime, then there's a crime. If there's not a crime, like if there's a not guilty verdict, then the judge can decide if there is a crime or not.
I just put in my notes here, Nancy is ... being Nancy. Because she's like, I just don't know, Your Honor. I mean, I myself have never fired a gun, but I mean, what I'm really worried about here is justice. And Judge Kind is like, all right, Nancy, we get it. Like, like it feels like this judge just says, Nancy's been before the judge before. He's like, all right, girl, like, you know, it's not gonna work on me. Like, it really depends on who is facing Nancy, because it's like some judges fall for this routine, some judges are like, all right, I get it. Like, it's the same thing with Lewis Canning. I'm like,
yes,
you're using a disability. It's like these acts, like when you think about the acts of the other lawyers, like, you know, Nancy with her naive routine, Lewis Canning with his disability routine, Patty Nyholm with her kids. Like, these the bits that these lawyers do every time they show up.
And in the early season, the investigator with his kids, like I like how like these side characters have a very distinctive trait. Like, and even some of our return criminals, like Colin Sweeney, like there's always something about them. Yeah. So at the end of this, Carrie's like, okay, let's split up. I'm going to go to criminal court because I know the essay. Nope. Shit. You work there, dork brain.
I know.
And then like, I guess he had to remind viewers, I guess. And then Alicia's like, I will go to the disciplinary board. Also, this is like the most I've sworn in any. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. I feel
like you also
reel it back in.
Are you skiing?
No. Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
Like, different Marissa right here.
I don't even know what would be happening.
You'd be skiing down some penning slopes, I think.
So we go to criminal court. Carrie walks in. Geneva is like knocked off her confidence, because this woman is like, this guy has confessed already. Like, Geneva thinks she has this in the bag, and then Carrie walks in and she's like, oh.
Let me just say, Geneva Pine.
Geneva.
Oh, doesn't matter how little she's in the episode. I enjoy seeing Geneva Pine, knowing she's still part of this world.
Yeah.
She has my heart. Because Carrie walks in, and both Geneva and Olivia, who has been in 2 other episodes of the show before this. Oh, you know, I'm doing my IMDb. I'm like,
yeah.
What we got? was like, Olivia. Who is Olivia? I click on the actress, like, doesn't look familiar. And they tell me she's in 4 episodes, 1 yet to come, but 2 others in seasons 2 and 3. I was like, I have no idea who this person is. So I go back into, I had some time. I had time. So I go back into this episode and I was like, who is this person? And like Carrie talks to her. He's like, Olivia. I was like, okay, this is Olivia. I don't think I've ever seen this one before on this show, but she's in seasons 2 and 3. I go to season 3 and it's the death row case where the guy was like, at the end was like mean to his mother and his brother. He was like a real crazy guy.
Yeah.
Apparently she's in there, but I skipped through the scenes. I was like, I don't see her in here. Like, are they lying to us? What is it? Was this a no-show job for the first 2 times? Now she's here. I don't know. But yeah, both Olivia and Geneva are just like, what the hell is he doing here? Like, when Carrie walks in, I'm like, okay, is he here for you? No, is he here for you? I don't know.
Yeah, like they're legitimately like, what is going on? At the end of like when court's dismissed, Carrie goes over to Olivia, not to Geneva. Like, I'm sure Geneva was like, what are you here? Are you gonna help me out here? We got this code or whatever. Carrie's like,
right?
Yeah. Olivia, like, I can totally help you. And Olivia's like, why? Okay, but what? And he says, I know the essay. Geneva likes to sit on her evidence. She likes to build something up and then do a reveal with the evidence. And so it looks like they're going to team up to help out in this case. So we go to the disciplinary board and Lionel, Papa Gilmore.
Lionel!
Is back. Yeah. And I got to tell you, okay, so like Lionel is at the head of the table. Then we have Will and Diane on
and David Lee.
Yeah. He does rate.
Yes.
And David Lee on one side of the table, and we have Carrie and Alicia on the other. Or Alicia and Carrie. Will and Alicia.
Well, Carrie's not there. It's just Alicia.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Will and Alicia, though, are locked in.
I got in my notes. I said Alicia and Will are making eyes right now. It's like as we talked about last episode, I was like, they for some reason have this weird flirty energy when they're fighting. It's just like, I could get you on the table right now, girl. Yeah. And of course, Will with his like extra testosterone he stumbled upon, just like, oh yeah, you don't even know what I do to you right now.
Like, he is not mad at this moment. He is amped up. He like you said, he would pounce over that table if he was just given any opportunity to. So, and Will is gonna Will and Alicia's gonna Alicia in this interaction. So Will's like, hey Lionel, can we ask Alicia why she wanted to have it here? And Alicia
and Lionel, who's just like, hey, welcome back, Will. You got yourself some trouble again, huh?
Well, and he's like, hopefully this time it'll be different. And Alicia's answer to the question was, well, Will has shown his true colors to this board. And I'm hoping that you'd be able to see that a pattern is happening here. And Will is like, you're so funny. You're so funny with this. And Diana,
you're so funny. I could just, ooh.
Yeah, like that's something I would say. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, you are my true match. This is who we are. Diana, like she is really bothered about this poaching of clients thing. Like, this is what she brings up every single time. She's like, they were trying to poach our clients. And Alicia's like, listen, no, this client came to us. We did not go to this client. This client came to us. All of your clients came to us. And Will says, like, look, we're not delaying these files. Oh, yeah, because they're there about the files. I forgot to say that. They're there because of the files. We're not delaying the files. We're just carefully culling our information. And Alicia's like, this is not the 1970s. You just go to the computer, you type this in, and you can get all the files that you need. And Lionel was like, how did you know that?
You don't say. Is this a new technology?
Like, I used to work there. And at the end of this, Lionel says, hey, Will, you were suspended for nonsense like this. Like, get your act together and get those files over to you. Florrick Agos and Associates.
I was only suspended for nonsense like this, technically. I was suspended for stealing money. Like, it's 2 totally different things, Lionel. Come on. I guess we're not going to quibble, though.
And then on the way out, Lionel catches Diane in the lobby. and says, I told Eli you'd make a better Supreme Court justice than, I think his name is Brett, but I could not remember, Brent or Brett, something like that. And Diane is like, huh? What?
And you say, what now?
What? And so she gets on the phone with Eli, and Eli's not picking up her calls. Bad sign. So she asks Kalinda to help her out and find out if this is just Peter trying to make it look like a real competition, or if this is like really him going to find new nominees.
It's like, oh, sweet, naive, innocent Diane. Come on now. She's just trying to really justify things, or like, it can't be this, right? I can't be like taken off of this, right? Like, it's something else has got to be going on. He's just messing with me, right? He's gonna throw me a surprise party, and tell me I'm the judge. He's just joshing me, right? Well,
and I feel so bad for her, kind of, because she's caught in the middle of this. Like, she's in the crosshairs of Peter's ego and Alicia's ambition.
But I mean, she did it to herself.
I know, but still, like, it's just like, oh, you're so close. So she walks into her office to find Kurt waiting for them, and I love them. This is like, I love them so much, because like, hi, I'm here, kiss, hi. And Kurt's like, I'm here because I'm like on your gun case. It's like, my gun case. It's not my case anymore. Chuckle. Yes. And he's like, yeah, but it's winnable. Like, it's a winnable case. And so these are two very highly principled people that decided to get married. And this is what makes their marriage so interesting. Overhearing this conversation is an assistant named Gina. Gina calls Alicia and says, hey, if I give you some information, basically, will you give me a job at your new firm, because I need this, and this. Like, she needs higher pay, a day at home, and some other things, which I thought was a good play for her.
Yeah, and kind of a callback to like one of the earlier episodes of like, and that teleconferencing thing they said we could do, they took that back. and Will's out here making out in his office with people. Things are going crazy over here, Alicia. I need to jump ship.
Yeah. So Alicia goes and talks to New Carrie, because while she was on the phone with Gina, she sees that New Carrie and Grace are still talking to each other. And she says to him, I want my family life to not overlap with my work life. And New Carrie's like, it was totally innocent, which means if you had to say it was innocent, it was not innocent. Yeah. In my opinion.
Alicia is just trying as nice as she can. Be like, listen, like, she could have come over like, get your grubby little eyes off my underage daughter. Do not ever talk to her again. Like, because it's a two-way street, because Grace is being weird, but Carrie's also returning it. Carrie should know, like, Zeps should know better to be like, I should not be doing this right now. But Zeps is playing into it for sure. And instead of Alicia like, hemming him up by his collar, like, look here, you little MF, she's like, hey, can you like not do this? Like, this is not cool. Like,
next time she has to talk to you, say you're busy. Okay. It's that easy. And then she's like, I have to go get a ballistics expert. And as she's saying that, she sees Grace talking to another associate. God, and so she decides to take Grace with her. And Grace in the car is like, I wasn't doing anything.
Hey, sure. Yeah, sure. Right. This whole thing is gross.
I don't like it. Yeah. That's what I have to say about that. As Alicia walks out the door, Zeps is saying, we have to outvote Alicia on this, meaning the office space situation. And Carrie's like, look, it's easier if you just find new office space, and then you don't have to outvote her.
Like, what is with you people? Like, we just started yesterday, and you guys are already with the shenanigans of voting people out, like making hostile workplace environments. Like, come on, like, let's figure out a diplomatic way to get around this and not backstab people on the second day we're actually in practice here. Jeez.
And as he finishes up his conversation with Zeps, he sees that Marilyn is in the kitchen with her water and her pot, just in case she needs to puke. And it turns out now Marilyn doesn't have a PowerPoint to talk to Carrie about. She has some questions. specifically about Chum Hum. And Carrie's like high on his like, I'm a good partner, I can take care of this, like let me take care of this and sweep it away. But he does not know who he's dealing with.
Yeah, Carrie, like these Carrie, these women lately have just been sweeping you up, bro. It's just like just delivering you L after L after L. Last episode, it was Diane and Kalinda getting info from him when he shouldn't have been doing stuff. Now it's Marilyn. And Carrie sees Marilyn. It's not like, hey, let me go investigate who this is. He's like, oh,
hey,
who's this? And Marilyn's like, oh, hey, I'm being Marilyn. I'm just being me. Yeah, you guys got Chum Hum. He's like, yeah, this is what we do. Just a small Midwest company, but hey, they're big news for us. You know what I mean? And Marilyn's like, oh, it was very interesting that once Peter started announcing his taxation for internet plan, then you guys landed Chum Hum, huh? And then Carrie realized, he's like, I should not be talking.
Well, that is after he realizes that after he let it slip that Peter was at the apartment when they found out that they didn't have Chum Hum. So basically what Marilyn's trying to figure out here is, did Peter know about Florrick Agos not getting Chum Hum before they got Chum Hum? And did he use the bully pulpit here to influence Chum Hum in becoming clients for his wife's firm? Like this is definitely a ethical violation of some sort.
He definitely did that. That's 100%. We know that. And it's just like, and like I said, Carrie's like, why don't we wait for Alicia to get back? Why don't we wait for Mom to get back so that you adults can have this conversation? I said too much already. I'm out of my depths here. Like, Carrie, bro, you need to get your act together, man. It's taking L's left and right.
Yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough for him. Alicia drove to, I don't know where, Wisconsin, maybe, to talk to Kurt. And Kurt, okay, this is another thing. This is why I know I love my Will, but I also love Kurt in certain ways, because he starts off this conversation saying, so you took this case from Diane Lockhart.
My Diane Lockhart?
Yeah. Alicia's like, no, actually, she came to us. But I know what really bothers you here, Kurt, is that there is a defective gun out there. And he's like, you know what bothers me more? Being used. And Alicia's like, I'm not using you. I'm just trying to, like, I know you two are married, like you and Diane are married. I'm not trying to get in between any of this. I'm just really trying to win this for the client. So why can't we put this behind us, put the firm stuff away, like, and do what's right by this client? Masterful.
Bravo, Alicia. Bravo. That was masterful work. Preying on this man's morals and ethics. If there's anything we know about Kurt, that is the way to his heart, and the way to get him to do whatever you want him to do is to really play on, moral, ethical. Oh, you know what bad guns out there? Do you care? And he's just like, oh, okay, fine. Jeez.
Meanwhile, Grace is looking at the inventory of guns and wanting to shoot one sometime.
Where are we going with, like, what is this? Where's the story going? I don't know. I just can't. And
I don't know.
And the way after, she's like, he had a lot of guns. I may want to fire one sometime. I'm like, girl, what are you turning into? This
have you been hanging out with Will? Like, what's going on? What's going on?
I also wonder, like, is she just doing this to get under Alicia's skin, of being like, oh yeah, you wanted to get me out of the apartment because I was talking to men, and now I'm going to talk about guns. How about that? Like, how about that, Mom?
Jesus, men, guns. Those are the things.
Grace, what about Jesus? Can we get back to Jesus, please? Like, geez, I know I was annoyed about the Jesus, but can we go back to that? Like, I would prefer that.
When they get back, a play out of 2026 headlines, a bunch of redacted files arrive, and they're like, okay, we're gonna have to do more. So then we get another next day. There's the next morning here, and Will has a tattoo.
He seems surprised by.
Yeah, and it's like a butterfly or something. Like, it's weird. Then he's like, what? Huh? And then meanwhile, Isabella's like, I want your baby, Will. Like, I just want a baby. And
while she's doing topless yoga in front of his window.
Yeah, and he's like, what? you're so crazy. She's like, I can't believe you thought I wanted that. It's like, I gotta go. So that's his next morning. And then Diane wakes up and Kurt is getting ready to go again. And he's like,
already dressed in his flannel and jeans. Like,
yeah.
Maybe he's one of those never nudes, right? He sleeps in those. He takes a shower in those. Like, never seen you without those, Kurt. But he's like up and at him, ready in his stuff. Like, hey, by the way.
Yeah, he's like, I've been asked to testify in the gun case. And Diane's like, what? What? And you're asking for permission? And Kurt's like, no. Like, we said that we would never let each other interfere with the cases that we take. And she's like, oh, okay, so you're informing me. Great. And Kurt's like, it's a win. It's winnable. It's winnable for your client. Like, this is what the thing. And she's like, yeah, fine. Go be a hero.
Well, and Diane is like not even low key. She's high key upset about this.
Yes.
And it's interesting to, for Diane, who is, all about the gun rights, all about standing up for what's right. But when her like ego is involved, she wavers. She's just like, what do you mean you're going to help the other side? He's like, okay, but this could be a win for like gun control, right? That's what you like. She's like, that's not fair. She's like, you should not, like, don't question my ethics and morality right now in this. I'm mad at the other side. Okay. Like that, like she has to really balance what's important. And she is annoyed and upset that he's going to do this, but it is for the right reasons. And because Diane knows who Kurt is, she's like, all right, fine, go be a hero. Whatever.
And this conversation, like the conversation that we just saw, is the first of many conversations in this couple that has to do with them informing each other on decisions, which is what makes this relationship so interesting to me throughout the rest of the seasons of shows. So Kurt goes on the stand and he's talking about junk guns, which are guns that are made not so great. And he says in this gun in particular, the trigger had a faulty spring and it most definitely would discharge if it was dropped on the ground. So this is like a provable thing. And Nancy's, and she's like, I don't have a gun, but my dad hunts. And he tells me that there are things about the weather that could impact the gun. Is that true? And he's like, yeah, I didn't really think about that, but yeah. So it's kind of like a little bit of a yeah. And it's not great for Alicia and Carrie. Meanwhile, Kalinda does tell Diane, hey, they are looking to replace you, or they are looking into legitimate candidates in this. And we see a breakdown scene of Diane in the bathroom, which is the first time I think in the entire series we've seen that happen, at least by herself, in a way where she's just letting it all out.
She's sobbing in the
bathroom.
Like, oh. We saw Diane.
Like that? Was that how it was?
Yeah, it was like, like it was. You don't think that's accurate?
Sure, fine. Yeah,
pull it up right now. Pull it up on your Paramount Plus. Let's do it live on the podcast. No. Like we saw Diane chuckle earlier, and now we're seeing a Diane sob or a wail, if you want to call it, which is like, oh, that was like, that was quite a sob. I mean, almost as good as the one I just delivered.
Almost.
Christine
Baranski, Jason Reed, same level.
Right here.
Same level.
Exactly. Yeah. Give me all the Gilded Age.
What they're filming right now. Yes. So she has a little breakdown in the bathroom, but then she shows up to Lionel's conference room.
She gets herself together. She's like, all right, got the sob and the wail all the way. Get yourself back together, Diane. You are Diane effing Lockhart. Go be Diane effing Lockhart.
Yes. So she's there. Will's there. Carrie's there this time because Alicia is in court. And Carrie's like, hey, Lionel, these are the things that we got from her.
Hey, Daddy. Hey, Daddy Gilmore.
Files.
Now, is this an important moment here? Because Carrie and Lionel are in the same scene together. This was a thing.
Yes,
right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah, a very Gilmore's reunion of this. And in the show, they like had a lot of scenes, and Papa Gilmore did like his character Logan. at points. Anywho, so he's like, look at these files, they're redacted. And Lionel's like, well. And Diane's like, no, because what is redacted is our work product. And she says to Carrie, Florrick and Associates. And he's like, Florrick Agos.
Damn. I was like, another L taken by Carrie. Like, bruh, she just sunned you. She was just like, little boy, you work for Alicia, don't you? You are an employee of Alicia. You're not a partner. You're her employee, bitch. And he was like, no, we are partners. Florrick Agos and Associates. Diane, okay.
Yeah, and what she's basically saying here is that like these notes and everything were work product of Lockhart Gardner, like happened in Lockhart Gardner territory, and so therefore belong to Lockhart Gardner. And Kara's like, okay, it's kind of like, all right, but here's Kalinda. Let's have Kalinda on the stand and
as a hostile witness.
Yeah. And talk about the fact that her notes were turned over to Lockhart Gardner. And so they're like, yeah, okay, cool. But then Robin comes in and there's this like awkward hey between Robin and Kalinda. But Robin comes in with an invoice that Kalinda had invoiced to Heather, the client, not Lockhart Gardner, the firm. So Carrie, like very cleanly, very confidently proves that these notes, these redacted notes, belong to the client and not the firm. And also says that Kalinda is not a employee of Lockhart Gardner. So basically anything that Kalinda has put in on this case should be able to be seen by Florrick Agos and Associates.
Yeah, this is really smart because it's a little bit of a callback from early this season or late last season, where the thing was Kalinda was deciding between Florrick Agos and Associates and Lockhart Gardner. Was like Lockhart Gardner's like, hey, we'll give you more money if you will be exclusive to us. But because Kalinda is a freelancer, she bills the clients and not the firm.
Yes.
So I was like, ooh, that came back to bite us, didn't it? Because it's like, yeah, like you billed the Heather, like specifically. So that means these belong to Heather. And like this is a huge L that is delivered to our people at Lockhart Gardner.
Yes. And just like that, the files arrive at the apartment. Zach lets Alicia know that there's someone at the door. And it's none other than Kurt McVeigh. And Kurt's like, hey, so originally there was no reason for me to take apart the gun, but then this like environmental evidence came into play. So I took it apart and here you go. And she's like, what is this? And he says, it's what you need to win. So I like how he's like still in the client's best interest, but not necessarily giving the whole answer to Alicia here. He's not saying like, he's like saying, you're going to have to figure it out. Like, here's the evidence. I'm not gonna spell it out for you, but here you go.
I feel like Kurt though is that guy. He's like he's very principled. He's like, yes, Alicia's hedging at him is right. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do what's best for like gun safety. Like he loves guns, but he also wants to make sure guns are used safely.
Yes. Back in criminal court, Geneva again is like, this man confessed. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Why are we still here?
Like, what's going on? And Olivia stands up and she's like, hey, so I got one more witness. And Geneva's like, huh? What? Who? It's none other than Kurt McVeigh. And so this is where Kurt gets to tell and explain what he found when he took the gun apart. And we have basically Carrie coaching Olivia on what questions to ask. It's like, what did you find? It's like, the gun had defective pins. And what does that mean in your opinion? In my opinion, I think that this was going to fire like no matter what. But in the end, all of this work doesn't really pay off because Geneva's like, hey, you can have 5 years or 20 years. Like, it's your choice in the situation. And Olivia's like, take the deal. And Kira's like, wait, what? Like, we need there to be a not guilty plea on the record somewhere, but it falls through. He does take the deal for 5 years, and there is a guilty next to his name.
Yeah, it gives Nancy exactly what she needed, because she needs this to be like in the gun to have gone off in the like execution of a crime. It doesn't matter really
Yes.
what the crime is, just needs to be a crime. So they get him to go involuntary manslaughter. So,
Yes.
so he's guilty of a crime.
Yes, exactly. So back at the apartment, they're like, we need a new strategy. What are we going to do? Marilyn shows up again. This time Alicia is here. They decide, why not? Let's just chat in the bathroom all the time. And Alicia's like, look, I know what you did. I am not happy about like the questions that you asked Carrie. And Marilyn's like, well, I found out that Peter was here. And Alicia's like, yeah, he was here because we were having sex. She's like, okay.
And that's like Alicia like lifting her leg and like peeing on Peter, like,
yeah,
mine.
Yeah, claiming her territory. Claiming
you
her
stay
territory.
away. You stay away from Peter.
And she asks Marilyn, like, who are you working for? Like, what is going on? And Marilyn says she had an anonymous tip saying that Peter used the bully puppet to sway Chum Hum. Who do you think that was, Jason?
Me thinks Will made a call while he was skiing. You know?
Yeah, me thinks too.
Just in the midst of just going down those slopes, he gets the harebrained idea to make himself a call.
And while
you know who I should call right now? The ethics lady. The hot ethics lady that works for Peter. That's who I should call right now.
See, the thing, like the sensory thing with cocaine, I could not do it. I could not do it.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine.
No, I could not do it. But okay, so in explaining this, Marilyn says that Peter used the bully puppet, and Alicia's like, "You mean Governor Florrick?" And she's like, "Yeah, I do. Sure do."
This is the second time you haven't been reminded there, Marilyn, that you work. This man is the governor, not your little buddy. All right, Marilyn. Keep it cute, okay? Keep it cute.
And Marilyn's like, "Look, you are right not to trust me, but if I write this report, then it gets everything off your back. Like, you will never be like investigated again when it comes to this. And you do have some weak spots." And Alicia's like, "What? Okay, fine. Tell me."
The weak spot's name is Carrie.
Yeah, it's Carrie. And you should ask the governor. She says specifically the governor, not your husband. But she says the governor to not intervene. And Alicia's like, he doesn't. And she's like, oh, yeah, he does. When it comes to his family, that is what he does.
That's just like Alicia. Come on. I know what went down here. Like, Alicia did not need to ask Peter to do this. I'm sure when Peter was in the afterglow of him and Alicia's stuff, he was around and he heard about Chum Hum. He's just like,
well, yeah, because she like left him. Like he was still like putting his stuff back on.
And he saw Diane was out there. He was just like, let me stay in here. But I put my ear to the door and listen to what's going on. He's like, oh, Chum Hum, eh? Like, Alicia, you know what he did. Come on. We all know what the man did.
Well, and she knew it when she heard it because she was like, oh, he did that for me? Oh,
yeah. And she's like, but now she's like, I didn't tell him to do that. Okay. My man just did it on his own. Okay.
He just did it.
Just rode to our rescue.
Pizza arrives. And
pizza.
For a minute. It's not Chicago pizza in any way, shape, or form. And also, Robin eats her pizza backwards. Did you see that? She ate the crust first, which is fine, but it's just like not a Chicago thing. And there were some continuity errors because she like had it, she took a bite, and then we see her go for the piece again and take another bite from another angle, and it's the same bite. And I was just distracted by it for a moment. For a moment.
You remember in the 90s when Pizza Hut convinced you to eat pizza backwards?
Yes,
because they
put cheese in the middle. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So basically they're like, okay, what's our new strategy? And Robin throws out there, we need to demonstrate how it violates the warranty or breaks the warranty, which, if you remember from my little PSA, is one of the only ways a gun company can be held liable if a gun goes off during a crime.
I think Robin's like, why don't you go off the breach of warranty? Everybody's like, what? That's come from Robin? Good strategy? What? Who are you, Kalinda?
Just like, it's great strategy, except for Lockhart Gardner has all of the warranty documents. So back to the disciplinary board we go. But before getting there, Will has like a little pit stop in the car to talk to Isabel and more with Isabel. And Isabel's like, what if I did want a baby?
Will's like, you're wearing me out. You're wearing me out, girl.
Gotta go.
Wearing me out. Thanks for bringing my stuff in the car.
he finally gets upstairs, and Lionel is like, "Look, this is ridiculous. We can't keep meeting here every single time that they need a new document."
Did you clock how Will entered the hearing?
Yes.
He was like, "Hey guys, what's up?"
Yeah,
he sits down all excited. Alicia looks at him like,
what is going on? Yeah. So Alicia's like on her game. She's like, we asked for sanctions, and Lionel's like, yep. So every day that this is delayed, it'll be at $20,000 in fines. And Will's like, here's the funny thing. We'll definitely hand all this over as soon as we're paid. And they're like, what? Yeah, as soon as we're paid, because Heather was signed on contingency, and so therefore we were only going to get paid if she won, but we've done all this work and someone needs to pay for it. So it's about $145,000. And then he says, as soon as we get our 145 G's, we will pay up. And I was like, who are you?
Hello, fellow kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, bruh.
I know. So he is definitely in an altered place and state. I don't even know who this man is at the moment.
Whether it's from lust or skiing,
Yes, yeah.
He's really feeling himself right now.
Alicia walks out. Nancy's back in court, and she said, we can't be sued because there's the guilty plea. There was a crime, so this can't happen. And Alicia's like, yeah, that is why we want to change our direction to breach of warranty. And the judge is like, okay, hold on, just like 1 second, Alicia, you're kind of being replaced again. And Diane is back on the case. Okay, and Heather's just like, they have all the files. Like, we need to stop doing this. Mm-hmm. And so Alicia walks out. Diane finds Alicia's legal pad and calls Mrs. Florrick over so she doesn't forget her legal pad. And then she, like, the next thing she says is, and we would like to change our defense to breach of warranty.
So good. I love, like, even more than a joyful Diane, way more than a tearful Diane. I love a smug Diane.
Yeah.
Smug Diane is like elite level Diane, where she's got one over and she knows it. She's taking a victory lap. Mrs. Florrick, I didn't want you to forget your legal pad. Oh, get the hell out.
And she's like, have a nice day. Mm-hmm. At the end of it, she's so good. So good. And that is like the highest high for Diane at the moment, because when she gets back to the office, she does get the call from Peter basically saying you're out. And so she goes and she goes to Will and is like, hey, so good day, huh? Like, we got Heather back. Will's like, yeah, I'm gonna go for a run. Like, I got this energy. I don't know where it's coming from. So I'm just gonna write it.
Hey, did you see the mom bishop on the way out?
Yeah, like, what? Whoa. And he's like, it was like old times. I got angry. You were calm. Like, this was great. And Diane's like, what if I didn't leave? And
I imagine Diane being like, looking down the floor as she like circles the carpet with her foot, like, so like, what if I stayed? What if I didn't leave?
Yeah. And then they say that Alicia and Peter are like Bill and Hillary on steroids, which nice. Was funny to hear. And
Will says, like, what's funny? It's crazy. He can like, Peter can hurt Alicia all he wants, right? But let somebody else try to hurt Alicia, he goes all tribal. Peter's like, you're damn right, you're damn Skippy,
which is just horrible for Alicia. So at this point, Will's like, all right, Diane, listen, I'm taking this firm all the way to the top. I'm done being polite. Like, this is, if you can handle that, you're in. And she's like, I'm done being polite. So yes, the mom and dad are back together. I don't
call off the divorce again.
So back at the apartment, they're having a discussion about what to do with these tax partners, right? Like, should we join them? Should we not join them? Meanwhile, Grace is making a sandwich in the kitchen using mayonnaise. And Alicia is clocking this because she is like definitely taking her time to make the sandwich and doing things with the mayonnaise.
Yeah, and there are like guys who I assume is from this tax firm in the background of her making the sandwich,
Yeah.
staring at her while she's making the
Yeah.
sandwich.
Yeah, it was so gross. So gross. So she says to Zach, get your sister out of the kitchen. And he literally just walks up.
Literally escorts her. Escorts her out of the kitchen, like, come on, you harlot, let's go.
Like, so funny. So funny. So Alicia's like, let's get a vote. And then there's some like about it. And Kara's like, listen, she's a name partner. When she wants to vote, we vote. So let's vote. And in the middle of that, a phone call comes to let us know that the tax partners have been bought out. By who else than Will Gardner. And we see the final shot of him celebrating in his like tracksuit. He still hasn't gone for his run. But yeah, it looks as though his plan to conquer the world is off to an okay start.
Yeah, I mean, listen, maybe we should start, if we're going to be doing this 2 law firm thing, maybe we should start giving L's and W's every episode. Big W for Lockhart Gardner this episode.
Yeah.
They won all the things this episode. Big L for the, fledgling, new firm of Florrick and Associates. Like they took a big L on this one. So we'll see. We'll keep track of who's taking L's and who's taking W's as we go throughout this thing. Because it feels like, maybe for this whole season, it's going to be straight up Lockhart Gardner against Florrick Agos.
Yes.
Every episode in some way.
Which is only going to, play with the Will and Alicia tension.
Will they, won't they?
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was good. Yeah, that was a wild episode. Listen, did not reach the heights of last episode, but still a really, really good episode. Still a lot of like loving the chess moves, right? Of each firm of like, oh yeah, you do this, I'm gonna do this, you do this, I'm gonna do this. So really enjoying it. And in this new world we find ourselves in after last episode. Marissa.
Yeah.
You want to tell the good folks where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me at itsmemarissag.com, where there's links to all of the podcasts that I'm on, including this one. We'd love to have some more viewers over on YouTube. It really would help us find more people, because over there we've got Good Wife, a Good Wife feed, and an Elsbeth feed. Elsbeth is back this week, so it would help some people who love that show to be able to find us. So you can find links to that again at itsmemarissag.com, along with me over at Previous Little Liars on Whirlwind Podcast, talking about Pretty Little Liars, one previously on at a time. And my sister and I are still going through space. Don't lose hope. We are still there. It's just, it's hard to make a podcast with a sister in the education system and another sister trying to find money to live, getting a job. So we are doing our best, but we are still there. And you can catch up at catch up on the USS Sisterhood. Other than that, Jason, that's it for me. What is going on in your pod world?
Actually, I have to get this out before I do that. You and Lisa, your sister, should start a new social media account for your joint podcast. You should call it It's We, the Sisters G.
I like that. That's so good.
I'm going to give that to you for free.
I'm putting that out. Yeah, thanks. If you would like to pay Jason for that, please go to buymeacoffee.com/pod.
Yeah, for my PR services. Yeah. I echo what Marissa said about the YouTube. We really want to get that like going more. And the way to do that is to, like I said earlier in the episode, like it, subscribe, comment on the episode. Tell us parts of the episode you liked. Tell us parts of what we said you liked or disagreed with.